Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the words of the Mesilas Yesharim. The Ramchal is explaining to us all of these great Tanoim, Amoraim, the sages of the Talmud and the Mishnah, how they took their energies and their abilities and they were mechabed the Shabbos, they honored Shabbos properly, even if it meant seemingly menial work and menial jobs that they did. Roasting fish and salting fish and chopping wood. We don't expect to see great Rabbanim do such things, and yet it was not below their dignity to do it because it's not about their covet, it's about the covet for Hashem and the covet for His Shabbos. And we saw at the end yesterday that Rav Nachman, the reason that he used to do all of these great acts of honoring Shabbos was because he extrapolated for himself, if a choshev, a guest, if an important guest was coming to my house, how much honor I would show to him. So then certainly I would show such honor to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The story that Rav Ruderman Zatzal, the Rosh Hashiva of Ner Yisrael, was once preparing for the arrival of Rav Aaron Kotler. Rav Aaron Kotler was the Rosh Hashiva of Lakewood, and he was recognized as one of the Gedolei Hador, one of the greatest leaders of the generation. And he was coming to Baltimore to visit for a meeting, and Rabbi Ruderman was not to be found in the house, and his daughter found him on the floor in the bathroom, scrubbing the floor. And she said, "Ta, what are you doing? What are you doing? You shouldn't be on the floor." He said, "I have a choshev, a guest. I have such an important guest that's coming to my house today. Rav Aaron Kotler, the Gadol Hador, the leader of the generation." He said, I am cleaning the house to the best of my abilities to make sure that it's sparkling clean in honor of such a guest. And then we learn from these things, if this is the way that we will prepare for the guest of Basar V'Dam, of flesh and blood, al achas kama v'kama, how much more so we have to be mechabed HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we have to honor Hashem in the proper way. And therefore the Ramchal writes the following words today. And he says like this, on this vein, quoting in this matter, that's what it says in the Gemara, which states that a person should always be oram b'yir, they should be pretty clever when it comes to the fear of Hashem. What does it mean to be clever? That means you should use different ways that you could to figure out how to honor HaKadosh Baruch Hu more than you are right now. You have to know and to extrapolate one thing from the other, just as Rav Nachman did over here. You have to come up with new ideas, new ways and innovations to be able to bring nachas, ruach, to bring pleasure to HaKadosh Baruch Hu in any way that is possible. And that's what Rav Nachman did. He thought to himself, if this is what I'll do for a great sage who's coming to visit me, all the more so, that's what I'm going to do for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So therefore, we have to think the same thing. That if this is how we're going to get excited to go to here, or we're going to get excited about doing this or doing that, vacation time comes, we can't wait for vacation, pack up our bags, put on our comfortable clothes, jump in the car, drive off a few hours, go to the nice Airbnb, bring the barbecue and the tasty foods, the nash, the games, everything we're going to do, and just relax for a few days, and we look so forward to that. So then we have to think to ourselves that that's what it's talking about, a vacation, when we're going just to chill out a little bit. Alachas kama v'kama, all the more so when it comes to a person having the opportunity for a Yom Tov, let's say. A Yom Tov is an oasis of ruchnius, of spirituality. It's a getaway from the hustle and the bustle of his everyday life. There's no school, there's no jumping in the car, there's no being on the phone, there's no running places, running here and there. It's 2 days, or it's a cholamayid and another 2 days of a person just going and communing with Hashem. So if for the road trip and the family vacation, I spend so much money, I spend so much time, I spend so much effort, I try to figure out how to make it the most incredible trip possible so that my kids will walk away happy and thanking me instead of complaining and fetching like children like to do. So then all the more so a person will utilize this ability when it comes to, for example, like we're saying, a Yom Tiv, and they will pack it in the best that they can, all the food, all the treats, all the nash, all the fun, all the revelry that they're going to have together with their family to make it look like it's something that is so beautiful and amazing. And that's the real chizuk, the real inspiration, the real relaxation that a person has is from the Maisa mitzvahs, the actions of mitzvahs that a person does. Therefore, says the Ramchal, and we have to do it as much as she'efsha, whatever is possible for us to do. Laharois hayoseinu makirim goynu musa aleinu, because that will demonstrate that we recognize the tremendous reimamus, the loftiness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu over us. We have to show him how much we appreciate and we recognize and we realize that he's with us. Asher al ken kol mashi yisyaches loi yenichbad aleinu kavod gadol. And therefore, anything that is associated with Hashem, it's going to be held by us with tremendous kavod, great esteem, and the like. And we're going to turn that kavod, that honor, towards Hashem. And since that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in all of his tremendous goodness, even though that we have shifloi seinu, we are lowly, and we don't deserve these things. Nevertheless, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in his humility, he wanted to give us honor, and he wanted to entrust us with divrei kedushasai, with his holy words, the mitzvahs in the Torah. He gave them. We don't deserve it. What are we? We're 96% of our DNA is made up of a monkey, and the rest of most of our life is filled with indulging in animalistic desires and behaviors. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in his kindness, in his humility, says the Ramchal, in his love of Klal Yisrael, he was willing to bestow upon us the greatest gift of all, which is the Torah and the mitzvahs. And therefore, the facha is bekokocheinu nechbadin v'nireh hayukar asher lehem etzleinu. And therefore, at the very least, we have to honor the mitzvahs and the Torah with all of our might, and we have to demonstrate the tremendous value that we ascribe and that we show to the Torah. And that, says the Ramchal, is how we learn from other things in our life. Those things that find favor or value in our eyes that we think are important, we will spend so much time, so much honor. We'll talk about it. We'll engage ourselves in it. We'll do what we can to make sure that it looks good in the eyes of others. So too, when it comes to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we have to do anything that we possibly can to show how much we appreciate, how much we love, how much we look forward to. It was just the yortzeit of Rabbi Victor Miller's Atzal, and one of his son-in-law spoke, Rabbi, and he said that his father-in-law was always talking about Hashem, and whenever there were controversial things, Rabbi Victor Miller always had an angle of hashkafa, of Torah outlook, and he would say it openly, even though it wasn't always the popular opinion. And people asked, or Rabbi was saying, why was his father-in-law so outspoken? Why was he so vocal? Why did he say things that were sometimes shocking to other people with this clarity and this emes that he had? And he said because his goal was he has to defend the Tata, he has to defend HaKadosh Baruch Hu. People look down on Hashem, people question HaKadosh Baruch Hu, people don't speak highly of Hashem. Rabbi Victor Miller came with all of his hashkafas achaim, all of his beautiful outlook on Torah, just to defend the honor of the Ribbono Shel Olam. And that's what we're saying over here as well. Not that we're coming to defend the honor of the Ribbono Shel Olam, but on the other hand, we're coming to be mechabed to honor the Ribbono Shel Olam for all of the amazing and wondrous good that he does for us. Have a wonderful day.